Hi Big Book, hi Reception. Welcome to our 3 o'clock read. So I'm going to read you a story and it's called Clarice Bean, That's Me, and it's written by Lauren Child. I know lots of people. Most of them are in my family. A lot of them live in our house and some of them just visit. There's usually lots of noise. And we're always at 6s and 7s, but that's the way we like it. Sometimes I think I could do with a bit of peace and quiet. Hard to find in our house. I like peace and quiet, but I don't get much in my room. I'm always busy rushing about. My room is so small I have to squash everything in. I like to have lots of things just in case. We have to share, so I have drawn a line down the middle. And there's a line. Goes all the way over the cat and all the way around in a loop and down again. Minnow Cricket likes to hang upside down until he turns purple. Then he sorts of wriggle around like a maggot. Sometimes I say, I haven't got time for your nonsense. And he says, twit, and I say, twit and a half, and he says, twit with carrots in your ears. And then I flick his nose with my ruler, and he says, Mum, in a really whiny brother way, and Mum says, no flicking of noses with rulers. And I say, what do you flick noses with then? And she says, celery. And I say, we've run out of celery. And she says, no flicking of noses then. My sister Marcy has a room of her own, so she has peace and quiet whenever she fancies. Marcy likes to wear makeup and read about boys. When I have time on my hands, I peep round the door and I try to make her notice me. She says, go away. And I says, why? Because I don't want to talk to you. Why? Because you're very irritating. Why? Because you are a little brat. Why? You better get out of my room before I count to 10. And I don't need to ask why. My older brother Kurt is usually in his room with his door shut. He doesn't talk much and he wears t-shirt with writings on them. They say, shut up and go away. Mum says, he's at that difficult age. Dad says, he should try being 44. Mum says, it's not easy being a teenager. Mum says he's in a dark tunnel of adolescence, but usually he's in his room. Kurt says he wants to be left alone. Lucky for him, he has a room all to himself, and it smells of socks. It's all right for Dad. When he wants to be left alone, he goes to work. Grandad spends all his time having peace and quiet. He is most often asleep in a chair with a cat on his head. When Mum wants some peace and quiet, she balances on one leg in her bedroom or listens to whales sing in the bath. When I get a bee on my bonnet and Mum needs some peace and quiet, she says, go and run around in the garden. This usually does the trick. Sometimes I chuck potato over next door's wall. Because I might want to be an acrobat, I have to keep nimble and flexible. I do this by scrunching into the laundry basket. Getting out is the tricky bit. There's no peace and quiet in the garden because there's a boy who lives next door. He likes to call over the wall. He says, What are you doing? Can I play? I know you can hear me. Grandad calls him Shouting Boy, but I call him Robert Granger. He always wants to know what I'm up to, and he always wants to do what I'm doing, which is normally twirling until I fall over. Robert Granger doesn't have any ideas of his own except copying me. So I go indoors to do handstands quietly on my side of the room. Then Minel starts playing football on my bed. He says he does it accidentally. I say, more like accidentally on purpose. I get cross, so I accidentally chuck his duvet out of the window. It lands on next door's dog, and Dad gets in a row with the neighbors. Dad says, right now you are not the flavour of the month, young lady. Minel is grinning like a pleased twit, so I tip a bowl of spaghetti hoops on his head. I'm in big trouble. Mum says I should try to think before I act. And she's right. If I'd thought about it, I would have put rhubarb crumble down his trousers. I'm in such big trouble that I get sent to my room for 3 whole hours. And I love it. It's the best piece of peace and quiet I've had in ages. The only time in my family's quiet at the same time is when we sit down to watch our favorite show, Martians, in the kitchen. The rest of the time it's non-stop noise, but that's the way we like it. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story. Sometimes I feel like my house is too noisy and I could do with some peace and quiet as well. But I usually find somewhere quiet to read a book or do a colouring or draw a picture. What are some things you like to do when you want to have some peace and quiet? See you soon. Bye.